Yo, bro, I went back and looked at the video that I did about I was I was breaking down the animal feces, telling people like, man, if I'm laughing at what the video that I did is called y'all wasting y'all time debating European. You go in that video and you watch I was breaking that video down. I don't know, you might laugh and you may not. But the way I was breaking it down, that's my first, literally probably my second time. I usually don't make a video and laugh at myself. I mean, laugh at the way I was saying it was funny. The way I was breaking it down. I literally just got finished watching that video. That video is 30 minutes and 10 seconds. 30 minutes and 10 seconds. And I guess this will be a part 2 of it since I'm doing it. Because I like how I broke it down, the video down. I might need to kind of play it and react to it. I don't know. But I might just rewind it to certain parts. I like how I broke certain pieces of it down.
I always tell
this
people
was
this. Why are you wasting your time debating people? Something just told me to talk about it again. Wasting your time with Jesse Lee, Mr. Jesse Lee Peterson, and all of them. If they want to identify with them Caucasian white folks or whatever you want to call them, let their ass go. If they're gonna sit there and because you ain't doing nothing we ain't doing nothing making ourselves look stupid. So let them try to debate with something. Just like, why would you take and bring try to go and put your hand on a minus, knowing a rat and knowing if you ain't what he is, he gonna bite the shit out your damn hand.
That's right.
Because you know you don't.
Because there's order in the animal kingdom. You see what I'm saying? You can't go into their kingdom and expect when they see you, they're gonna react to. They're gonna. That's an indication you don't look like them. You're not us. You're not one of us. That's really what they mean. You don't look like me. So what do I need to be hanging with you for? In a way, that's what they mean. They may not understand the language, the natural human language, but they know when they look at you, they know you don't look nothing like them. A mice, rat, whatever, even a giraffe, a cow, an animal, when you approach them, they automatically know you don't look nothing like them. They only hang around. Like if you look at the different animals, right? The different animals and the different feces and stuff like that. I give you example. The biblical. You remember when Esau in the Bible was trying to kill Jacob, and Jacob had to flee, right, and go to Laban, his uncle, right? Yeah. Matter of fact, let's get that prophecy. And we're going to show you that is two different nations. And think about the animals when I'm thinking about this here. When you look at when a cat sees a rat, right? What is the natural instinct of a cat when he tries to go and run after it? Is to kill it, right? When a rabbit see a dog, that to them that's danger, right? Their natural instinct is that a rabbit runs into the hole in the ground, right? When they running from a dog, because they know to them that dog is an enemy to them. Even in the animal kingdom, they know that there's a difference between certain animals. That's why you got the giraffes hang with giraffe, you got the squirrels hang with squirrels. You don't see no cat, no, excuse me, you don't see no squirrel trying to hang out with a bunch of cats because they know what the hell can happen. That cat is gonna try to catch him and kill him. So what do the squirrel do? The squirrel stay out their way. When squirrel see a human being, what does it do? The natural instinct of that squirrel, it runs up the tree, right? They may not know what they running up the tree, what it is, but they know it's something to get out of your way. They know that you don't look nothing like them. They know it's a difference. They may not can explain it, but they know it's a difference. You know? So when you look at Genesis 27 and let's see here. Genesis 27. And let's read verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live and serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob. See, it's always was hatred. The Bible says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, that means his mind, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. This is the reason why the so-called white man is killing our people today in police brutality, because that's what makes us different from the Europeans. This is the biblical nationality of Europeans. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, does comfort himself, prospering to kill thee. Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice and arise and flee thou to Laban, my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days, and thy brother's fury turn away, until thy brother's anger be turned away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast done to him. Then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob had taken a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these which are of the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do to me? So Jacob had to flee and go to his uncle Laban. Yeah, because Esau was prospering to kill him. Because Jacob took his birthright. Because Esau did not care about his birthright. The birthright was Esau didn't give a damn about keeping the commandments of God. That's what that birthright symbolized. It was all dealing with the commandments. Esau did not want to have nothing to do with the commandments, so Esau took and sold his birthright to Jacob. That means Esau that refused to keep the commandments. Esau did not want to keep no commandments, and he sold his soul to, he wasn't supposed to marry and go into Holibama, the daughters of Ishmael. The daughters of Ishmael. Esau was supposed to have stayed within his nation of people and married and took wife from his own nation, but he refused to keep the commandments of God by marrying and taking other wives and stuff like that. That's what Esau did. You see what I'm saying? So that's why Esau, that's what it means when it say he sold his birthright, meaning that Esau did not keep the commandments of God. But Jacob is the one that had the promise, because the promise was was for Jacob, and it all happened by design. It all it all happened. It was all designed. It wasn't no coincidence. It was all a design. It was designed to happen that way. You see what I'm saying? It was all designed to happen that way. Yep. So it's in the animal world. When you look at the animals, don't they be trying to eat and survive off of eating other animals and stuff? Like the zebras, don't you see the lion, the leopard be trying to catch them zebras and stuff like that? And them alligators be trying to eat them them alligators be eating them zebras and stuff like that. And what does the zebras do? Try to get away from the alligator. They try to get away from the shark, right? Because they know that's to them is the alligator is an enemy. Just like when a rabbit look at a dog and the rabbit take off running from the dog, to the rabbit, that dog is an enemy. You see what I'm saying? So the rabbit ain't gonna just act a fool and go up to the damn dog. That's the enemy trying to kill and catch and kill him for food, for seeing him as a prey. Yeah. So even in the animal kingdom, the animals don't get in other animals' way because they understand that in certain in other different species, like a race, just like we shouldn't get involved with other race of people that is the enemy against us. That why you think the slave trade happened? Because we're not the same people. And the people that enslaved us, enslaved our people, ancestors and stuff like that, they knew that they know, and we know, they know that they're because they were different. The slave owners thinks different from the person who is being enslaved. It's simple as that. The person that has been enslaved or that's a descendant of a slave is not an enemy. They are the victims of the slave masters, are the ones that is not victims of slavery or being had nothing done to them. Black people, Hispanic people, and Native American people are victims of the slave trade. The slave masters themselves that enslaved God's chosen people is not guilty, they are guilty of enslaving people. They are not victims. They're not victims. They're not guilty of being they're not victims of the slave trade. They are the white people and all the other nations, the African, they are the sons and daughters of the slave master. So it's naturally it's going to be a difference. Just like if the victim talk about how the person that enslaved them going into slavery and they're going to reap what they sow, it's not going to sit well with the slave master. The slave master is going to disagree with the victims, and the victim is going to disagree with the slave master. So we are the victim, so we disagree with the slave master. We're not going to think the same. So if you speak against the slave master, I'm going to be all for it because I am victim of the slave trade. We're victims of being the slaves, right? Now, the slave master is not going, if he going to do the opposite because he is of a different nationality of people. If you talk against the slave master that had owned slaves, they naturally it's going to defend them. It's going to be grievous to them is to hear it. It's because they was guilty of enslaving they will be guilty for their ancestors for enslaving those people, because they, even though they didn't do it personal, they still is the forefathers of the slave masters that did it. So they just as guilty as their forefathers because they is piece of that product that did it. They still guilty of it because they the same people. They would be guilty of the slave trade because they are part of that nation of people. They are of that nation. They are who those people are. So they're going to naturally feel and think the same as the slave master. Yeah, they're going to naturally feel and think the same as the slave master. And they're going to defend their slave masters because they're slave masters themselves. It's just like if you take a piece of cake, a whole chocolate cake, you cut a piece or a hunk off of that chocolate big cake. That little small piece is still exactly just like that big hunk you cut the cake from. It's still the same cake. It's not going to change the nature of that big piece of cake because you just cut a piece off. But what does it change? Nothing. It's still the same because it's going to taste the same. It's going to taste just like the cake you cut it from because it's all the same. That's the same way it is when it comes to the Caucasian, the Japanese, the Chinese. It's still the same exact same blood. They just a product of them. Whether they live in China, whether they live in America, and their people is in China, they still are Chinese. I don't care what location they at. It still is not going to take away and wash away their DNA, what they really is. You know? So this is a part 2. Y'all wasting y'all time debating Europeans. Because they know we're not the same. No, you're not the same. It's impossible. So I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here because I'm going to go ahead and lay down. And I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Y'all wasting y'all time debating Europeans, part 2. So when I